Hey guys, Vicky here of the Marshalls, and today I'm going to talk to you about one of my all-time favorite horror movies, The Crow.
A bastard devil stood and felt how awful goodness.
For anyone unfamiliar with The Crow, it's a movie from 1994 starring Brandon Lee, rest in peace, about a guy named Eric Draven who is unfortunately murdered alongside his fiancée on Mischief Night, or Devil's Night as they call it in the movie. The night before Halloween, the night before they're about to get married.
Devil's Night is upon us again.
And a year later, a crow comes along, wakes his spirit, and Eric avenges his and his wife's deaths. The amount of love and passion these two had for each other is just really heartbreaking. It really stirred me up young. Like I said, it came out in 94. I was born in 89. So I've been watching this movie literally since I was 5. It's always meant the world to me. Since 1994. So the movie is almost 30 years old now. How to Feel Old 101. And yeah, so today I'm going to take you through a little bit of our collection of it. We have this lovely VHS tape, thanks to Bill. He managed to hang on to a lot of his tapes since he was young. Some we've collected over time together. But yeah, really cool to have. We also have this collector's series DVD. I definitely had like one of those snapback cases, and at one point in my life went through a minimalist phase and broke everything down into a binder, but in marrying Bill we would have had a lot of doubles anyway, so it worked out. We got this cool collector series DVD, like I said, and this cool Blu-ray copy that I ironically just peeled the price sticker off of, so I think we got it at like a McKay's in Knoxville or a place like that. But now, one of my favorite things is this book. My parents had it for years. I just grabbed it off of a pile in my youth and added it to my own stuff, and they never questioned it, never asked for me back as far as I know, don't know I had it. Didn't even know they had it, who knows. But in meeting Bill, he started taking me to horror conventions. I was never into going to things like that. I never really even knew that they existed. The first one he took me to, we met Ernie Hudson and Tony Todd, who played Albrecht and Grange. Awesome time meeting them. I was shaking like a leaf because it was my first time meeting anyone to that degree. And of course, it was my first horror convention. So, super crazy experience. Sadly, we also met Michael Massey that day. And if some of you know, for those who've seen the movie, might be familiar with some of the background of it involving Brandon Lee's death, especially Michael Massey blamed himself for it and never watched the movie after it was finished. But meeting him was awesome, and he was tripped up at the fact that I grew up watching the movie, that I saw it at such a young age and kept watching it. Didn't get a photo with him, unfortunately, out of those that we met. It is what it is. Just glad we got to meet him.
The fuck?
We met Rochelle Davis, who played Sarah, and Bai Ling, who played Micah. Whichever. None of them had seen this book, so this wasn't like widely made and widely sought after. And it's just a great ride-along book to the movie. There's some history, there's some behind-the-scenes photos, some original fan art, all sorts of stuff in it.
Are you some kind of ghost? Boo.
I do have Grail autographs I'd really like to get added to it. Obviously, I'd really love to meet these people. Michael Wincott being numero uno. I love him. I love that I can pick him out of a cast in any movie he does based on that gravelly, you know he's still smoking cigarettes voice.
Every man's got a devil.
David Patrick Kelly is a very close second.
Here's to Devil's Night, my new favorite holiday.
T-Bird's lines in The Crow are unreal. And he was in Twin Peaks. Also really loved to meet Angel David, who played Skank. And one of my favorite lines, something Bill and I still say to each other at least once a month minimum.
And now this dude gonna kill my ass next.
And of course we have this final. It's the score of the movie, it's the soundtrack. Funny enough, the year it came out, I got it for Bill for Christmas, not knowing he also got it for me for Christmas. So opening Christmas presents that day, that year, was awkward, but also really funny to say the least. Great soundtrack, great score, you can't complain. Super fun, super zany. Got it from a good friend of mine while he was working for NECA, so thank you for that, bud. But yeah, The Crow, it really means a lot to me. I took movies very literally as a child and just thought that Devil's Night was a thing. So needless to say, as I got older and figured out it wasn't, I was relieved. We also have the movie maniac, Eric Draven. He has a guitar too, but the strap broke, so if anyone's got any quick fix tips for that, much appreciated, but still very cool. Bill's had this since he was a kid. He's seen better days, but he's still in great shape.
Can't rain all the time.
If anyone else has an affinity for this movie like I do, I'd love to hear about it. If you have problems with this movie, I'd love to hear about it, because I can't imagine thinking of it in a negative format. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Don't walk in the wind.
Hurry up! Hurry